watching the Mystical Green Beanie.
Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? I am the Mystical Green Beanie, and a few months ago I made a video where I addressed my concern over Bendis jumping ship to DC and taking over the character of Superman. Now, I wasn't as mean about it as some of the other people, because there were folks calling Bendis a washed-up has-been and saying that everything he touches dies, and I don't necessarily agree with that. In my opinion, there have been some diamonds in the rough amongst his more recent work, but I do feel like he's been resting on his laurels. And I was afraid that he was going to bring that attitude to DC Comics and to Superman, but based off these first 3 issues of Man of Steel, especially this issue, issue number 3, it looks like I could potentially be wrong. So this is the issue where everything starts to ramp up. Rogol-Zaar makes his way to Earth. Superman brings in Batman to help as a consultant on the arson attacks in Metropolis. Supergirl is finally introduced in this issue, which is really cool because we've heard from Bendis in the lead up to Man of Steel say that Supergirl was going to be a pivotal character in his run, and that makes a lot of sense based off this issue, but I'll talk about that a little later. But first off, there's another fire in Metropolis, and Fire Chief Moore is investigating the wreckage after the fire gets put out, and she comes across Superman and Batman, who are also doing what they can to figure out who's behind the arson attacks, and the conclusion that they come to is that the public safety director might actually be behind these attacks, which I really like, because to me, this harkened back to the golden age of Superman, where he was a hero who fought against political corruption, and I really liked how Bendis is roping in that aspect of the character once again. It was also fun to see Batman show up. I loved seeing the contrast between the way Superman interacts with Chief Moore and the way Batman interacts with her, because Superman is very friendly and he's very warm, and Batman isn't. Batman is not that at all. He is very short and to the point, and I'm really liking this approach to Superman. It really does remind me of what John Byrne was doing with Superman in the 80s, where he would often show Superman interacting with the public outside of Lois Lane and the other Daily Planet members and his villains, and we would see how everyone else in the city interacted with Superman, and I'm really glad that Bendis is reintroducing that into the comics. As for the Rogol-Zaar plot, which is, strangely enough, the emotional crux of this issue, wow, Bendis really does a good job with this. So Rogol-Zaar finally arrives on Earth, and the first place he goes to is the Fortress of Solitude, and when he gets there, he trashes the place. He destroys Helix, he wrecks all of the monuments that Clark had regarding his heritage, but the most horrific thing that he does is he destroys the bottled city of Kandor. And it's really sad because when Clark is investigating the latest arson attack with Batman and Chief Moore, he hears the alarm that's coming from Kandor, and he moves at lightning speeds to get back to the fortress, but once he gets there, everything is destroyed. And he has this reaction that's akin to when your house is broken into. Clark just feels helpless and vulnerable. And he even tries to play it off by echoing the words of his father after he burned down the barn when he was younger, by telling himself, it's just stuff. But it's not. This is a shrine to his heritage, and it's been defiled. And the people of Kandor who he promised he'd rescue are now dead. And Clark puts the weight of that failure on his shoulders. And there's this beautifully drawn panel by Ryan Sook, who's the main artist for this issue, where we see Superman and Supergirl crying over the bloody, shattered remains of Kandor. But both Clark and Kara know that they don't have the luxury to grieve, because this was an attack on Superman. So that means whoever did this is going to attack members of the Super family. And that means Superman and Supergirl have to make sure that everyone that they know and love is safe. But once Superman gets to Metropolis, he's attacked by Rogol-Zaar, and this actually leads us into the Action Comics 1000 short story. We also got some more flashbacks with Lois and John, and I'm really liking the pace that Bendis is moving at, because in this issue, the giant metal cockroach thing actually opens up, and we see someone inside of it. Now who that is, I have no idea. I will be experiencing that with you guys as I read it, but Clark keeps reassuring everybody that Lois and John are safe. Whether or not he's lying has yet to be determined, but I'm still fascinated to see what happens next. Then there's the art, As usual, the flashbacks are drawn by Jason Favik, who continues to do a fantastic job doing what he does, because, seriously, the flashbacks that he's drawing aren't even all that visually striking idea-wise. Like, a weird thing pops up in Lois and Clark's apartment, and for 3 issues, he's just drawing Clark, Lois, and John reacting to it. But he draws that scene so dynamically. I'm more excited looking at it than I would be if I had just had it explained to me or was reading it in a novel. As for the main artist, Ryan Sook, this guy did a wonderful job here. Ryan knows exactly how to draw emotion, not just from people, but how to effectively pull off an emotional moment. My favorite panel in this issue is the one where Superman and Supergirl are in the background crying over the destroyed Battle City of Kandor, which is in the foreground of the panel, and all of the buildings and the glass are covered in blood and everything is destroyed, and it's just really striking stuff. All in all, solid issue of Man of Steel. Seriously, if you're not reading this book, for whatever reason, get over it. Go buy this book, it's amazing, and if you don't think so, or you think I've steered you wrong, then tweet me pictures of sad puppies, because that would completely ruin my day, and I think that would be a suitable punishment if you think that I'm overhyping this book. But I don't think I am. Like I said, if Bendis keeps going the way he's going, then I will be gladly eating my words, because I had no faith in him to deliver something like this. And the fact that each issue is only getting better really does give me hope for the future. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Man of Steel issue number 3. But what about you? Did you like this issue? Did you not like this issue? Let me know down below in the comments section. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button, share, support the channel. And if you want to see more content like this, all you have to do is subscribe. I'm the Mystical Green Beanie. Thank you for watching. And as always, until next time, adios, nachos.